Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you for a minute because some of you are losing your whole life before 9 a.m. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because your mornings are sloppy. You wake up late, you rush, you complain, you grab your phone, and before you even get out of bed, you've already handed your piece to the world. That right there is why your days feel heavy. You don't start your day, you react to it. And winners don't react, they prepare. See, God gives everybody the same 24 hours, but what separates successful people from everybody else is what they do with the first hour. The morning is not for scrolling, stressing, or snoozing. The morning is for setting the tone. When you wake up with intention, the rest of the day has no choice but to fall in line. But when you waste your morning, you spend the rest of the day chasing it, trying to catch up, wondering why nothing is working. The first habit you need is simple. Wake up earlier than your problems. Stop letting life beat you out of bed. When you wake up early, you're telling the world, I'm in control today. You don't need 5 more minutes. You need 5 more years added to your life, and that starts with discipline. Every time you hit that snooze button, you're practicing quitting. You're teaching yourself that comfort is more important than growth. Next, you've got to talk to yourself before you listen to anybody else. If the first voice you hear in the morning is social media, news, or negativity, you've already lost. You need to remind yourself who you are, where you're going, and why you can't quit. Say it out loud if you have to. Faith comes by hearing, and sometimes you need to hear yourself say, today I'm going to win. Another habit is movement. I'm not saying you need to be a bodybuilder, but you need to get your blood moving. A body in motion creates a mind in motion. When you move in the morning, you shake off doubt. You're telling your brain, we're not playing today. Winners activate their body early because energy creates confidence. Then there's planning. You can't just wake up and hope for a good day. Hope is not a strategy. You need to know what matters today. Write it down. 1, 2, 3 priorities, that's it. If you win those, the day is a success. Stop trying to do everything and start doing the right things. Focus beats talent every time. Another powerful habit is gratitude. Before you complain about what you do have, thank God for what you do have. Gratitude changes your posture. It turns stress into strength and pressure into purpose. When you're thankful in the morning, you walk different, you talk different, and people can feel it on you. Finally, protect your morning like it's sacred, because it is. Everybody wants a piece of your time, but not everybody deserves your best energy. The morning is where winners are built. If you can win the morning, I promise you this, you will win the day. And if you win enough days, one day you're going to wake up and realize you've built the life you used to pray for. Ladies and gentlemen, let me slow this thing down and talk straight to you, because the truth is this: the morning is the most disrespected blessing God gives us every single day. Some of you wake up already tired, already frustrated, already behind, and nothing has even happened yet. That's because you didn't wake up with purpose. You woke up with panic. You jumped out of bed reacting to life instead of preparing for it. And when you do that, you give the day permission to run you instead of you running the day. See, successful people don't have easier lives. They just have stronger mornings. They don't wait to feel motivated. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They understand that discipline is more powerful than feelings. When that alarm goes off, that's the first test of the day. And every time you hit snooze, you are choosing comfort over commitment. You're saying, I don't feel like it. And life don't care how you feel. Dreams don't care how you feel. Bills don't care how you feel. Your future don't care how you feel. When you wake up early, something powerful happens. You get quiet time. Time to think. Time to breathe. Time to hear from God. Most people never hear their own thoughts because the world is too loud. Phones ringing, notifications buzzing, problems screaming. But in the early morning, before everybody starts pulling on you, you can pull yourself together. That's when clarity comes. That's when direction shows up. And listen to me closely. Mornings are not about doing more. They're about doing what matters. If the first thing you touch in the morning is your phone, you've already lost control. Now you're comparing, scrolling, stressing, absorbing other people's problems. Before you know it, your mood is off, your energy is low, and you don't even know why. You didn't protect your mind. Winners guard their mornings because they understand that whatever gets your attention first gets your energy. Your morning is where confidence is built. When you wake up early and keep that promise to yourself, you start trusting yourself again. You stop feeling weak. You stop doubting. You start saying, if I can beat the bed, I can beat the day. That's why small wins in the morning lead to big wins in life. Making your bed, drinking water, moving your body, saying a prayer, these little things stack up. Momentum don't come from miracles, it comes from consistency. A lot of people say, I'm not a morning person. No, you're just not disciplined yet. Nobody is born loving early mornings. Winners are made, not born. They understand that sacrifice now saves regret later. You can either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment, but either way, pain is coming. The difference is discipline pays you back. When you start your morning right, your attitude changes. Problems don't hit you the same. Delays don't break you the same. People don't get under your skin the same. Why? Because you already poured into yourself. You already reminded yourself who you are and where you're going. You're not empty, so life can't drain you. Let me tell you something real. Your future is watching how you use your mornings. Every wasted morning is a vote against the life you say you want. Every focused morning is a deposit into your destiny. You don't need a new year, a new job, or new people. You need a new morning routine. Fix your mornings, and your days will line up. Fix your days, and your life will change. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something powerful today, because this right here can change your whole life. The way you wake up in the morning is the way you wake up to your destiny. Some of you are waking up with pressure on your chest, stress in your mind, and fear in your heart. You're waking up thinking about bills, people, mistakes, and problems. But you're supposed to wake up with purpose, not pressure. You're supposed to wake up knowing that today is another chance God gave you to move closer to the life you asked for. Most people wake up already defeated. They open their eyes and immediately grab their phone. They check messages, social media, news, and emails, and before they even stand up, they've already absorbed 10 different fears, comparisons, and distractions. Now their mind is polluted before their feet hit the floor. That's not waking up with purpose. That's waking up with chaos. If you don't control your morning will control you. Purpose means you wake up knowing why you got up. You wake up with a reason, even if you don't feel like it. You wake up and remind yourself, I'm here for something. I'm here to grow. I'm here to build. I'm here to win. Purpose doesn't always feel good. Sometimes purpose feels heavy. Sometimes purpose feels lonely, but purpose always feels meaningful. You have to stop waking up asking, what do I have to do today? And start waking up asking, who do I need to become today? Because your day is not just about tasks, it's about transformation. Every morning is a chance to become stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more focused. And if you waste that chance, you waste growth. Pressure comes when you let the world speak before you speak to yourself. You let deadlines, people, problems, and opinions talk to you before you talk to your soul. I'm before nobody else talks. To you, you need to talk to you. You need to remind yourself that you're capable, that you're chosen, that you're still in the game. When you start your morning with your own voice, you walk into the day with power instead of panic. Let me tell you something. Waking up with purpose is not about having everything figured out. It's about deciding that today matters. It's about deciding that your dreams matter. It's about deciding that you matter. A lot of people wake up feeling worthless because they measure their life by what they don't have yet. But purpose says, I'm grateful for where I am and I'm committed to where I'm going. When you wake up with purpose, you move different. You don't drag your feet. You don't complain as much. You don't waste hours on nonsense. You become intentional. You start asking better questions. You start making better decisions. You start choosing growth over comfort. And that's when life starts to shift. The truth is, pressure will always exist. Life will always have challenges. But purpose gives pressure meaning. Pressure without purpose breaks people. Pressure with purpose builds people. When you know why you're doing something, you can handle almost anything. You can handle rejection, delays, criticism, and failures because you know this is part of the journey. So tomorrow morning when you open your eyes, don't wake up as a victim. Don't wake up as a slave to your phone. Don't wake up as a person waiting for life to happen. Wake up as a person on assignment. Wake up as a person with intention. Wake up as a person who knows today is another step toward greatness. Because the moment you wake up with purpose, pressure loses its power over you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something real with you, because this right here separates the people who stay stuck from the people who move forward. The mind you wake up with in the morning is the mind that will follow you all day long. If you wake up confused, distracted, and overwhelmed, don't be surprised when your day feels the same way. But if you wake up focused, calm, and intentional, you walk into the day already ahead. That's why the morning is not just a time on the clock. It's a mental battleground. Most people don't lose the day at work. They lose it in their head before breakfast. They wake up and immediately allow yesterday's failures, tomorrow's worries, and other people's opinions to flood their thoughts. Now their mind is crowded before they've even brushed their teeth. And a crowded mind can't think clearly, can't create, and can't lead. If you don't learn how to control your thoughts early, your thoughts will control you all day. You have to understand that your mind needs direction, not stimulation. When you start your morning feeding your brain noise, social media gossip, bad news, and comparison, you're training your mind to react instead of lead. That's why you feel scattered. That's why you feel tired without doing anything. Your brain has been working overtime processing a nonsense. Winners protect their mental space in the morning because they know clarity is more valuable than entertainment. One of the most powerful things you can do when you wake up is to choose your thoughts on purpose. You don't wait for positive thinking to happen. You practice it. You remind yourself of what you already survived. You remind yourself of the skills you've built, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you carry. You don't ignore your problems, but you don't bow down to them either. You say, I see you, but you're not bigger than me. Controlling your mind in the morning also means slowing down. Rushing creates stress, and stress clouds judgment. When you move too fast, you make poor decisions. When you slow down, you see clearly. Even 5 quiet minutes in the morning can reset your whole nervous system. Breathing, praying, thinking, or just sitting in silence allows your mind to settle. And when your mind is settled, your confidence rises. Let me tell you something important. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything will go right. Confidence comes from knowing you can handle whatever goes wrong. When you take control of your thoughts early, you stop being emotionally fragile. Every little thing doesn't throw you off. You stop snapping at people. You stop doubting yourself. You stop feeling like you're always behind. That's mental strength, and it's built in the morning. A lot of people say, I can't control my thoughts. That's not true. You can't stop thoughts from showing up, but you can choose which ones get to stay. Your mind is like a house. You don't open the door to everybody. You decide who gets access. And the morning is when you set the rules. Whatever you allow in early will hang around all day. When you master your morning mindset, your productivity increases without extra effort. You focus better. You listen better. You respond instead of react. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop carrying emotional weight that doesn't belong to you. That's how you win days consistently, not by doing more, but by thinking better. The people who are winning in life are not smarter, luckier, or more gifted. They are more intentional with their thoughts. They decide who they're going to be before the world tells them who they should be. And that decision, made quietly in the morning, becomes the difference between and that drains you and a day that moves you forward. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be honest with you, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Motivation is not what changes your life. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel it, some days you don't. But discipline shows up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want, and the morning is where that bridge is built. Too many people are waiting to feel inspired before they take action. They say, when I feel motivated, I'll wake up early. When I feel motivated, I'll work on my goals. When I feel motivated, I'll change. But let me tell you something, that feeling might never come. Life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards consistency. And consistency is born from discipline, not emotion. Discipline in the morning is a decision you make before your feelings wake up. When that alarm goes off, your body will always vote for comfort. It will always choose sleep, ease, and excuses. Discipline is when your mind says, I hear you, but we've got somewhere to go. Every time you choose to get up anyway, you strengthen your self-respect. You stop believing yourself again because you're keeping promises to yourself. The powerful thing about discipline is that it simplifies your life. You don't waste energy negotiating with yourself all day. You don't keep asking, should I do this or not? You already decided in the morning. You already showed yourself that you are serious. That one disciplined choice creates momentum, and momentum carries you through the rest of the day. A disciplined morning doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't mean you do everything perfectly. It means you do the right things consistently. You wake up at the same time. You get your mind right. You move your body. You focus on what matters. Small, disciplined actions done daily are more powerful than big actions done occasionally. That's how real change happens. People who lack discipline think discipline is punishment. It's not. Discipline is freedom. When you're disciplined, you're not controlled by moods, cravings, or distractions. You don't feel guilty at the end of the day because you know you gave your best. You don't live in regret because you handled your responsibilities. Discipline removes chaos from your life and replaces it with order. Let me say this clearly, discipline builds confidence faster than success does. You don't need to win big to feel proud of yourself. You need to do what you said you were going to do. When you wake up disciplined, you walk into the day with your head up. You're not hoping for a good day, you're expecting one because you already did the hard part. A lot of people think discipline is something you're born with. That's a lie. Just like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first few mornings will be hard. You'll want to quit. You'll want to make excuses. But if you push through that resistance, discipline becomes your new normal. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your life is a reflection of your daily discipline. Not your goals, not your dreams, not your prayers, but your habits. If you want to change your future, change what you do every morning. Because discipline in the morning creates strength in the afternoon and peace at night. When you choose discipline over comfort, you're choosing growth over stagnation. You're choosing progress over excuses. You're choosing to become the person your future needs you to be. And that choice, made every morning, is what separates people who talk about change from people who actually experience it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that most people overlook, but it's one of the biggest secrets to winning in life. You don't win your life in one big moment. You win it in small moments, repeated every single day. And the most important small moments happen in the morning. People are out here waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for a miracle, waiting for a big opportunity. But they are ignoring the small wins that build the strength to handle those big moments when they finally arrive. A lot of people wake up thinking success is about doing something massive. They think if they can just make one big move, everything will change. But life doesn't work like that. Life is built on habits, and habits are built in the morning. When you wake up and win the small things, you send a powerful message to yourself. I'm serious about my life. And when you don't win the small things, you quietly train yourself to settle. Winning small starts the moment you open your eyes. Getting up when you said you would is a win. Making your bed is a win. Drinking water instead of reaching for your phone is a win. Taking a few minutes to breathe, pray, or think is a win. None of these things will make headlines, but together they build discipline, confidence, and momentum. And momentum is everything. Here's the truth. Your brain believes what you show it, not what you tell it. You can say you're focused. You can say you're committed. You can say you want more out of life, but if your actions don't match, your brain doesn't buy it. When you stack small wins in the morning, your brain starts to trust you. And when you trust yourself, you move differently throughout the day. Small wins create energy. When you start your day already accomplishing things, you don't feel lazy, you don't feel behind, you don't feel overwhelmed. You feel capable. And that feeling carries over into your work, your relationships, and your decisions. You stop procrastinating so much because you already proved to yourself that you can act instead of delay. Most people lose confidence because they keep breaking promises to themselves. They say they'll wake up early, but they don't. They say they'll focus, but they get distracted. Over time, that chips away at self-belief. But every small win repairs that damage. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, you rebuild trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of success. Winning small also teaches you patience. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop comparing your journey to other people's highlights. You understand that real growth takes time, and you're okay with that because you see progress daily. Small wins remind you that you're moving forward, even if it's one step at a time. Let me say this clearly. Big success is just small success done consistently. The people you admire didn't wake up one day and suddenly become disciplined, confident, and focused. They built that person slowly, morning by morning. They didn't rely on motivation. They relied on habits. And habits don't need hype. They need repetition. When you win your morning in small ways, you start feeling like life is happening to you. You start feeling like you're participating in your own growth. You become proactive instead of reactive. You don't wait for the day to give you something. You bring something to the day. Over time, these small morning wins change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as lazy, inconsistent, or unlucky. You start seeing yourself as disciplined, dependable, and capable. And once your identity changes, your behavior follows naturally. You don't force success anymore, you attract it. So don't underestimate the power of small wins. Don't ignore the quiet victories, because those small, disciplined choices you make every morning are building a version of you that can handle big opportunities, big responsibilities, and big success when it shows up. Ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with something that ties all of this together, because consistency is the real difference between people who talk about change and people who live it. Talent will get you noticed. Motivation will get you started, but consistency is what makes success unavoidable. And the place where consistency is either built or broken is in the morning, before anybody is watching, before anybody is clapping, before anybody even knows what you're doing. Most people are inconsistent not because they are lazy,